This new body of work is quite a shift from the work I have been making over the last few years. I've had visual snow syndrome since I was 17. I see twinkling lights or film grain across my vision all the time. Noise and film grain has been an obsession in my work for quite a time. Having visual snow syndrome has really influenced a lot of my explorations of visual phenomena and the nature of optical effects. This work really came from that fascination with my own way of seeing and with film grain and alchemy, but it also really linked to sound and the music that I make. I started exploring a granular synthesis, which is a way of manipulating sound where audio is spliced up and then put through effects. I really enjoyed how unusual the sound can get, but also how much of the sound is still retained. I saw someone pouring sand over their guitar strings to replicate this digital effect in a very analog way, and that really inspired me to go on my own journey of exploring physical gestures and how they could replicate this effect. So I developed an experiment dropping mung beans and chickpeas onto a particle plate to make music. I would drop things and trigger different MIDI notes, which I could tune to a scale. I had some sense of control over a musicality, but there was a randomness and a textural quality that I really enjoyed. When I started making paintings, I had these chickpeas and mung beans hanging around the studio from all the sound experiments, so they ended up in my paintings. I've really loved how this body of work has just tied in so well with all the sound stuff that I've been playing with. It came from a very playful, innocent approach to, well, what could I do with this material? So I've really enjoyed this sort of experimentation, and it did take about 18 months of playing with different techniques and exploring different ways of replicating this quality before I got to something that felt really resolved. It reminded me of what I was doing with photography and the refraction of light, in the sense that the paint is the light and the particles of glass and organic particles are sort of the emulsion. So I'm creating a still illusionary effect that relates to these optical phenomena, but also draw you in and confuse you in a way. When I pour all the grains off one of these pieces, it's a sense of discovery, and sometimes they don't work, but that element of risk keeps them really interesting. They feel handmade and analog, but also there's no gesture or human marks really captured in the work. They really do remind me of photography because I'm not sure how the work will come out. It's like developing film and having that sort of excited moment of getting the film back. They feel like there's depth or a three-dimensional effect going on, but it's a flat surface. I think they feel very organic and very natural, even though they're pure abstractions. I hope someone walks away from this exhibition feeling a little more aware of the connectedness of things, and maybe thinks about how sound and light could be interconnected, and perhaps meditates on the sort of visual curiosities of the natural world in a different way.